Hey YouTube, Moy here. Samurai 8, Chapter 8, titled Take It Slowly is out. So if you haven't checked it out now, do so because there be spoilers ahead. Now that you have, let's begin. So, starting off, we have what looks to be a samurai and their holder receiving information about a locker ball from the princess. Um, we know from last chapter, Hachimaru was beginning his training in their safe house, learning about the samurai's trinity, when we learn about the relationship between samurais, their holders, and the princes. How the samurai protect the planets, the holders unleash the samurai's full power, and the princess is able to detect the locker balls, which are then used to create more samurai. We also found out during this that the princess that may or may not have been in charge of Hachimaru's locker ball lost it, which then led to the bandits trying to pawn it off to his dad earlier on in the series. So I guess we can thank her for all of that. Anyways, we are then presented with their names: Ata being the samurai and Neri being the princess, all wrapped up in some sort of sci-fi ish. I don't know. Ata, on the other hand, he's presented to be holding some sort of energy, as well as surrounded by some in the fashion like a Naruto from the Six Age path with the truth seeking orbs. But then he used it to like launch it into space, and he followed after it, or he himself went after it out into space to seek this locker ball. We then switch over to Hachimaru meeting his Princess of Fate, and gets immediately rejected after going on about how he's going to get stronger now that the Trinity's together, and asking her for her name, being a little obnoxious. Though, looking at her initial reaction prior to him approaching her, she seemed a little disappointed in what she saw. Um, Drama, being the wise cat that he is, informs them that the Trinity, although it's together, Hachimaru still has some work to do, and makes an attempt to talk to the princess and the samurai, Hagamichi, letting them know that they mean no harm and that he is currently mentoring Hachimaru himself. The two seem kind of surprised by this, and Hagamichi kind of scoffs and laughs, questioning his position as a samurai, and the princess simply refers to him as a cat. Ignoring their doubts, Dorama continues to speak to them, apologizing for Hachi's rudeness, and continues to ask for her name. The princess responds, though sheepishly, stuttering a little bit, informing them that her name is Anne. Um, Flattered when Dorama kind of compliments her on the name, talking about how it stands for like the beginning and the end. Hachi cuts off Dorama, complaining about how long-winded he is, and just wanted to know why they were there in the first place. Um, Hagamichi then informs them that they were wanting to recruit Hachi to the Bushi Legion, and kind of insults Dorama further by saying that the boy needed to be trained by a proper master, and hoped that Dorama didn't mind. But Dorama clapped back and said that if Hachi is in need of a proper master, then he would as well, because Hagamichi failed to see with their mind's eye, resulting in Dorama revealing his symbol of mastery and all of his credentials, pretty much. Like, just whipped it out and was like, yo, this is who I am. You better understand, you better recognize. This quickly humbled Hagamichi, causing him to beg for his forgiveness, showing Hachimaru how important his master truly was, well, and is. Um, we then take a little break, going back over to Hachi's house with his father, looking over old pics and memories of the two, and the alert for Hachi's drip machine gave him a reminder that it was time to feed him. It was lunchtime. Then begins looking for Hachi and realizes that the two have already wandered off, and wonders if Dorama had taken him to some place, but we don't really get to figure that out yet. We then snap back to Hachi and the crew as Hagamichi is contacting what I assume is a princess from Nanashi to verify Dorama's status, viewing them on like a projected screen provided by Hagamichi's holder. Um, he then decides to stay back and observe after the princess confirms that Dorama is who he says he is, and instructs the princess to stay as well in order to train her abilities due to I guess getting more strength in her gravitational pull abilities now that she is near her samurai. And as a result, the crew then mounts on their holders and head back to Rama's hideout, which is fairly massive once they get inside. There's like a lounge area. It looks, and it has like a waterfall, fireplace, some like these floating orbs growing out from what I think are trees. Yeah, no, I mean, my bad. The orbs are growing trees, and yeah, they're kind of like floating and whatnot. But once they begin to settle down, Hachi starts like complaining about being hungry, wanting food. He notices like this weird drink on the counter, and Drama like explains like, "Hey, that whey protein right there is all you really need. It has all the nutrients. It'll keep you good for training." When Anne is kind of remembering what her mentor had said to her before, and asks if Dorama has any ingredients for cooking, and showing that she's a great chef. She eventually cooks something up, and Dorama just kind of dives right in, and the other two are kind of like, "Whoa, what is this? I'm not really sure." I can kind of get that from Hachi, since like he really hasn't eaten anything since being hooked up to a machine, but I guess Hagamichi, he ain't never really had good cooking either. Like, but Hachi kind of exclaimed this surprise to Dorama, kind of like, "Yo, how are you able to eat all this?" And he was like, "Well, it's pretty good actually. You should try it out." And of course, they did like it. But then Hachi started kind of making fun of Dorama, like saying, retorting a lesson, or saying that he learned a lesson, saying that the most important things aren't what you see, but it's what's behind the illusion and the deception. Imitating how Dorama speaks, but enjoying himself. He asked Anne for seconds, but to only be rejected again. But this time it seems as Anne got out of sight, she was giggling, so it kind of shows that she's growing to like him. But we will never know. But sometime after eating, Hachi gives another go at using his soul blade to be successful this time. With Anne and Dorama in the distance, he explains that he has failed many times and that it was a little bit different from her skill set. And then returns with how she's used to failure, and as a result, she tends to put on a bold face to seem tougher. Dorama then lets her know that she is a lot like Hachimaru, and that she's actually a better princess than Hachimaru is a samurai. He then goes on to give her some words of encouragement, referring to her name and play on beginning how that the beginning and since it begins the beginning and the end, and how things won't be as easy, but will work out if they take it slowly. All while Hachimaru begins to cut into the guardian holder with his new ability to summon his soul sword. But then the last couple of pages show the samurai from the beginning, Ata, slicing through a meteoroid cloud, he calls it, as he seems to be flying through space, and giving us the return date of July 7th. But overall, I kind of dug it, even though not a lot happened. This chapter just kind of let I guess Hagamichi learn who his princess is, learn that there are more samurai, that he could have been trained by like some in Nanashi, which I think he would have been most definitely excited since he knows about the place. And but I think it'd be a good experience for them all, especially Hagamichi, since he thinks he's Mr. Big Shot, but will be able to have training under a true master of legend, as well as Hachimaru. But Ata, my man's flying through the sky, and Neri, those two are who I'm kind of wondering about, because Ata had like a dragon holder, which seemed pretty cool, unlike Hitaro or whatever his holder's name is, I kind of forget. Just as wild as my dog, you can probably hear him over here jumping around. But yeah, I think chapter 9 will be something to look forward to, and will probably clear up what Ata is looking for, and he may be their first enemy, that first arc boss, kind of showing them the ropes of how it's supposed to be out there as a samurai. And we may get a little bit more information on what Hashimaru's dad knows about being a samurai, since the last few chapters have been kind of he's been kind of holding some secrets with how he had what handle he had, what you know, this he had like a he had this like the soul or whatever already preserved for Hachimaru, I believe, and that was kind of suspect. And he already kind of has an idea on where they may have gone. So I'm kind of wondering what he actually knows, if he like trained with samurai or knew one or what, or if he's probably part of the problem. No, I'm kidding. We don't want to say that, but um, yeah. In comparison to like how it started off, I'd say a little bit more happened in the I guess the last chapter. Last chapter they only did was like they went to the safe house and cut it up after realizing that Drama and Hachimaru could not stay at his house if he wanted to train. So there's that. Catch me after chapter 9. I'll probably try to do another video sometime next week. Hopefully a lot earlier, maybe like a Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday, not as close to the release of the next chapter. And I may try to do a few videos explaining about some of the characters and whatnot if you like this one. Again, sorry for my dog. He's kind of running around a little bit, but he's having fun. But hope you guys like. I will see you next time. Moi out. Or I'll be bringing Moi.